Years ago, I had a friend that used to say to me all the time, no matter how bad things get, they can't take your birthday away from you. Well, there's something else that people can't take away from you, and that's your memories. I was working on a project here this morning. My mind got to wandering, and I got to thinking about some memories that I had, and I thought, well, I'll just do a story time and share those with everybody, as silly as they are. I was a young bride, and I wanted to have a pet, and we lived in an apartment, and we couldn't have a dog. My husband was allergic to cats. That kind of narrowed down the playing field a little bit. So I decided one day that I was going to get a parakeet. I went to the pet store and I checked out the parakeets. I got a cage and a feed and all the stuff that you needed to take care of a parakeet. And then I went back and started checking out to see if they had one in there that I'd like to have. And there was a white parakeet that kind of stood out above the rest of them to me. I'm sure that anybody else here that listens to this that's ever had a pet knows that they kind of pick you. You don't pick them, you know. There's one that'll stand out of the crowd of whatever kind of varmint you're looking at. And so I decided that I'd take him home. So they boxed him up for me and got all my stuff rung up, and I paid for him, took him home, and got him all situated in his little cage. And I started teaching him to talk. My husband said he couldn't understand a word that the parakeet was saying. I could understand him because I knew what I was teaching him. And while it might not be, real clear to the average individual, I could understand what he was saying. And Prince Albert and we got to be pretty good friends. I called him Prince Albert because of that white owl that used to be on the old tobacco tins. There was a big old white owl. And so I named that white parakeet after that owl on the tobacco tin. I was upstairs doing some work, and my husband said, "Hey, you need to come down here." I thought, well, what in the world's going on? So I go downstairs, and he says, "I don't think your parakeet's too well." And I looked over, and that parakeet was laying in the bottom of that cage, feet up. He had died on me bigger than anything, and oh, it broke my heart because I bonded with that little bird. And my friends used to tease me all the time about that bird and teaching it to talk. And they said, well, you shouldn't have taught him to talk. And I said, well, why do you say that? And they said, because Prince Albert had said everything that he had to say, and then he died. Oh, people can be cruel. I can laugh about it now. Back then, it wasn't too funny. But I got to thinking about other things and got off thinking about my dad and memories about my dad. And after he had a stroke, he come and lived with me at my house for a while, and then I ended up going out and living with him on the farm. But when he lived at my house, he would be ornery. Lord have mercy. I had to watch him every turn. And it was funny stuff that he did. And one of the funniest things I can remember him doing, he learned to get around pretty good with that cane. And so he could get up and down and do whatever it was he wanted to do, and I didn't feel like I needed to be a babysitter for him. If he needed something, he'd holler and I'd take care of it. So I'd go on about my business, house cleaning or paperwork or, whatever it was I had to do. And he'd watch TV and just, do whatever it was he wanted to do there. Well, I was cleaning house one day and I had the vacuum out and I said, hey, get up out of that chair and let me vacuum in that chair real good and get all the crumbs and everything out of it. Well, he got up out of the chair and he's looking at me a little sheepish when he got up out of the chair, and I didn't know what in the world that look was about. I went ahead and grabbed the vacuum, and get the nozzle there. I'm going to clean under the cushions and all this. And out from under the cushion of the chair comes a Twinkie wrapper. And I mean, it's all gummy and gooey and a mess. Oh, I looked over at him and he is laughing. I mean, he is about to fall over. He's laughing so hard. And I said, "What in the hell is this mess?" And he said, "Well, I wanted a Twinkie." And I said, "Have I ever denied you anything? If you'd asked me, I would have got you a Twinkie for crying out loud." And I said, "You act like I begrudge you food." And he is just laughing. He thought that was the funniest thing ever was. And I will never forget that memory of my dad and that doggone Twinkie and him smashing up the wrapper underneath the cushion of the chair. Oh, goodness gracious. Those were great days. But yeah, you get to thinking about memories, and that's something nobody can ever take away from you. And I know that y'all have memories of things that's happened in your life, both sad and happy, and things that you thought were sad and you've ended up laughing about over the years. And I hope you just take a little time and remember the memories. That's something you'll always cherish.